Hello and welcome to the show, The Art of Conversation with Latosha Esaw, the show that is dedicated to inspire and uplift audiences by sharing positive stories, fostering meaningful conversations, and promoting a sense of hope and connection within the community. I am your host, Latosha Esaw, and today I will be joined by an extraordinary guest whose talents bridge three very different worlds together. By day, she works diligently as a skilled paralegal, navigating the complexities of the legal field with precision and dedication. By passion, she is a published author as she brings powerful stories and ideas to life through the written word, in which she blends a unique formula of legal expertise and creative expression, which cultivates an environment by creating a comprehensive perspective that is insightful as well as inspiring to her viewers. Lastly, she is the founder of her very own thriving virtual advertising agency, which assists brands with turning their vision into reality by displaying conspicuous visibility and finding their voices while connecting with audiences throughout the world. Please join me in welcoming Mrs. Jasmine Williams to the show. Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
It is a pleasure. Okay, so welcome to the show. As we have so many topics to cover as it pertains to your professional and entrepreneurial accomplishments. So let's get started and take it back to the origin and the very beginning of your interest in the world or profession of paralegalism.
Okay.
In which I theorize that in order to pique an interest or aspire to become a paralegal, one must possess the ability or gravitate towards, I should say, combining critical thinking skills, organizational leadership, and to envision the opportunity to make a real difference in many people's lives.
Yes.
I firmly believe that paralegals are the backbone of the legal system or within the legal field because it grants someone the opportunity to work closely with attorneys while researching cases, drafting legal documents, and supporting clients through complex processes. Are these some of the primary factors and many reasons as to why you inspired to become not only a paralegal, but you are now a senior paralegal? Please elaborate.
Yes, most definitely. It definitely begins with a desire to want to help someone.
Absolutely.
And, when you're dealing with injured parties, whether it be on the job or whether it be an automobile accident, the first thing that you must remember is that these people are injured, they're hurt, majority of them are not working, and you need to have someone that will listen, that's not going to judge, dictate, that's going to listen, going to take detailed notes, and be there for the attorney. The attorney is going to be extremely busy. They're not going to have time to advocate and be there for every little detail. And that's where the paralegal comes into play.
Absolutely. So you say, in order to be like in your position, a senior paralegal, you must have effective listening, great communication skills, show a lot of empathy. Awesome. That's what it takes. Which leads to my next question. I just answered some, but what skills do you believe are essential for someone to become successful as a paralegal, like you are a senior paralegal, and why do you think those skills are necessary?
Definitely communication, listening, organizational skills. Okay, those are the main essentials, to be honest. If you can't effectively listen, you can't truly assess the problem and you can't help the client. So, to be honest, you have to listen, you have to be organized, you have to also remember things. Believe it or not, it's so much going on at any given day. I could be dealing with from 50 to maybe even 100 different clients. So it's a lot going on. You have to be able to multitask. It gets very tiring. It gets very stressful, but it's beneficial at the end of the day. I help people. People remember me. Sometimes they'll remember me before the attorney, which is a great thing.
Yes.
But other than that, as long as we're helping and we're getting everybody their just due, that's what we aim to do.
Absolutely. Okay, so what aspects of the legal field interest you most as it pertains to the field of paralegalism? Like, what interests of law do you enjoy working on cases?
I started in criminal, and I thought that was my baby. I did. But as the years have gone by, because I started in 2007, as the years have gone by, personal injury is it. It is.
Wow.
When people are injured and they have nowhere to turn, I like being that person that they can advocate to, that they can talk to. They're going to come and say, hey, Miss Williams, this is the problem. And I say, wait, let me handle that. So that's what I love about it. And it's the personal injury that is the greatest for me.
It sounds as if you have like wonderful motherly instincts, in terms of being a paralegal. Yes,
I might bring that into this.
Absolutely.
Hey, whatever works, I guess. But I do. I try to nurture. It might be the cancer in me. I'm a cancer crab, so it might be that nurturer in me, just being who I am. But that's why I love it. I love it.
Awesome. As you interact and deal with many individuals as well as legal situations, how do you stay organized and manage your time effectively? I know you're in the office probably the maximum amount of 8 or 9 hours. How do you maximize your time?
Calendars, calendaring, and more calendaring. Yeah, deadlines. You must utilize these apps. You must. There's no more, or the days of just writing something on a sticky note are gone, long gone. You must have deadlines, reminders, things of that nature. So using the most recent technology to keep yourself abreast of everything that's going on, along with continuing education courses, which I take regularly, yes,
Awesome.
keeps you up to date.
Awesome. So yes, I can imagine apps, they're much more convenient than just jotting things down and losing them. You can like store them in like an email, and it won't get lost unless you forget your password.
Unless you erase it, right.
Okay, and this leads to my next question. How do you ensure the accuracy of your work, and what do you find most rewarding about your work as a paralegal, like maintaining the integrity of your work?
That I definitely do. I'm a firm believer in that more than one set of eyes is what's necessary to make sure that there are no grammatical errors in the pleadings, that sentence structure is proper, things of that nature. So I believe in drafting the document, having the attorney look it over, having the legal assistant look it over, and then we send it out. Due diligence, sometimes it pays off to go that extra mile. It really does.
Awesome. I understand that. Lastly, how do you see yourself evolving in the future within this role, and what are your goals for professional development as a senior paralegal? You're not just a paralegal, you're the senior paralegal.
Yes, the senior paralegal / office manager. When it comes to being a paralegal, senior's top tier. You know what I mean?
Yes.
To do anything more, you want to become an attorney. No, I'm not going to law school, just in case that was the next. No, I won't do that. I want to leave that to attorney Lakeisha Jeffries.
Okay.
Jeffries Law Firm.
Okay.
But I believe that being a notary public comes along with being a paralegal.
Awesome.
And that opens up other avenues because outside of working at the firm, I'm able to notarize and I'm able to officiant weddings and things of that nature. So along with becoming a paralegal, you kind of grow in different avenues. It just comes along with the territory. And if you know what you're doing, people will trust you enough to come to you, and those doors are open. Those doors are open.
Absolutely. I totally agree. And that brings us to the close of our first segment as we discovered the importance about the vital role of a paralegal. Although they may not be in the spotlight of the courtroom as an attorney would be, however, the work of a paralegal is absolutely indispensable to the legal system. And with that being stated, we'll be right back after these messages. It is time to put down those electronic devices and pick up a book. If you're looking for a YouTube channel that helps you discover the joy of reading, where every episode brings books to life, sparks imagination, and inspires a lifelong love for literature, subscribe to Blanche's Book Club, where you control the narrative by submitting your favorite book to read as it is selected to be uploaded to the channel. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. Welcome back to the show. So let's pick up from where we left off about your area of expertise in the field of paralegalism and the importance of this role within the world of law, legality, and justice. So with that being stated, can you describe a time when you had to manage a high stakes litigation case, including your specific tasks, actions that were taken, and the resulting outcome?
Okay. In all these years,
yes.
One does stick out. It was a case that we had locally. It went the whole mile, from the beginning, summons and complaint. It actually ended up in a trial, which is, seldomly not heard of today. A lot of cases settle before it actually gets to trial. But this one particular case went all the way to trial, and I had to prepare a trial notebook. Had to gather all the pleadings, discovery. It was months of evidence building.
Wow.
I went to court with the attorney, sat right next to her, helped probe the jury a little bit, so detective work, let's watch them, let's see what it's all about, who's good, who isn't, things of that nature. And ultimately she won. So I felt extremely accomplished. I helped, in what I did to get it there.
Yes.
And that was a great moment. I appreciate her for allowing me to be a part of that.
I can feel the excitement
I love
from thinking back to that. Yes.
Yeah, it was
awesome.
Great. It was great.
Yeah. So speaking of that, do you have a particular area of law such as family law, criminal law, corporate law, or intellectual property law that interests you most? And if so, why? You did say you thought criminal was your baby, but
I thought so. And while the personal injury is the heart of it all,
yes,
we deal with family law, and it's such a sensitive topic that if I had to say anything other than injury, family law would be it, because people are truly dealing with a lot, whether it be divorce, child support, custody, visitation, the emotions are raging and people are in need of help. So to be that ear and to be able to put their evidence together and to be able to get them some resolve, no matter how big or small.
Yes.
That's the goal, and I appreciate being able to be there for people with that.
Absolutely. Like I said, from your wonderful motherly instincts, I can tell you show a lot of empathy with a lot of the clients that come in. What skills or personal qualities do you believe make you or someone a strong fit for a paralegal career? Does it include perspectives such as attention to detail, organization and time management, of course, and as we stated earlier, or effective communication?
I think that all those things combined into one. If you're a hustler, to be honest, you gotta want to hustle.
Yes.
Because it's fast paced and it's competitive. There's a lot of people out there that want to strive to be in the field. So you definitely need to know your stuff.
Absolutely.
You gotta also be willing to take chances, to be able to step out and say, hey, I may not know what I'm doing here. I'm going to try it. and see where it goes. And you also have to be able to ask questions. There's never a question that is too big, too small, smart or stupid. No, no, no. If there's a question, ask it.
Absolutely.
And you'll be fine.
Absolutely. So it seems as if we are piggybacking off some of the answers that you're saying, because my next question was, how do you envision balancing the technical side of the role in terms of researching, drafting, legal procedure with the human side, such as supporting attorneys and clients? I know you do have a lot of empathy, but is there any other like details you would like to elaborate?
Sometimes I have to remember that it is a job, and you have to be able to separate the personal from the business.
Absolutely.
And having empathy, while it's good, you still have to be able to say, okay, this is a business. I still work for this person. Let's make sure that we're getting everything done. Fair, timely, clean cut, straight to the point.
Absolutely. Which leads to the next question. What aspects of legal work, such as drafting documents, conducting research, or assisting in trial preparation, are you most excited to learn and take part in? I know you mentioned like the attorney won the case, you did some detective work. Are those like avenues or things that you're excited to learn about when they say, hey, we need you to work on this?
Oh yeah. When I hear that we have a new one in, and the spidey senses start tingling, if that's what it is. Oh, this is going to be a good one. I'm excited. I'm roaring to go. I want to know everything that happened. I want evidence. I want pictures of scenes. I think I'm a little bit more excited than the attorney at times to build it up. You know what I mean? I enjoy it. I do.
Absolutely. I feel it like beaming through you, like, yes, I love to do this. And I know you're awesome at what you do. What role do you think empathy and understanding play in the work of a paralegal, especially when interacting with clients who may be under a lot of pressure or stress? Sometimes they can test your patience.
Oh yes. I have been tested, and through the years I've learned, to count backwards from 10 and to not take it personal.
Absolutely.
No matter how personal it may feel. And there are times where it's definitely going to feel personal. But at the end of the day, this person's going through something. They're not mad at me. I'm just supposed to listen and take that beating or whatever may be coming that day, and calm them down. Majority of the time, no matter how angry a person is or how upset, if you just listen, let them vent, and I'm sorry, I'm here. And, then they end up apologizing, and you're like, no sweat, I understand. If I was in your shoes, I'd be a little testy too. And believe it or not, they become good friends. They talk to you after your case is closed. They see you in the grocery store, and it's all love. So,
I can imagine, yes. And that is a great answer now, which leads to my follow-up question. How do you handle stressful or high-pressure situations, especially when working under strict deadlines that are common in the legal field?
Organization. You have to know what's coming weeks ahead of time. If you're dealing with an emergency and you have to drop everything else, okay, you got to focus. It is what it is. Sometimes the job is so unpredictable that, yes, while I may already have 5 or 10 deadlines that are already crammed and I'm trying to get with it, here comes an emergency, and you have to just know how to turn it off. You have to be able to, to hustle the job. And if you can't, you will struggle. You will.
Yes.
So being able to multitask, being able to look at 3 and 4 monitors at one time and know everything that's going on, that's how you do it.
Absolutely, yes. And this leads to my next question as it pertains to working under a strict deadline. How do you manage work-balance life? As I digress or segue to the next topic about dedicating the time to write a children's book in your work-balance life. Now, what inspired you to become a published author? And how do you manage the time to write and publish your amazing children's book?
When I go home, I turn into a completely different person.
Yes.
I believe that I have superpowers myself. So when we leave the office, right, we become super mom. And my inspiration for the book is solely based upon my childhood and my children. seeing them grow, seeing them enjoy life and learn and things of that nature, I say, you know what, I got to write about this. I had a knack for a niche for writing ever since I was young. Middle school, I wrote poetry. I won a few little poetry contests and things like that. So the writer in me was always dormant, right?
Yeah.
It's just after becoming a mom, it just flourished, and one day I said, I'm going to write this book. And I talked about it for a little while before it actually came to fruition. But one day I said, I'm going to go independently and publish this thing. And if you really want something, you got to get out there and you got to do it.
Absolutely.
We can waste time. We can waste years.
Yes.
And then look back and say, what did I do with myself? So,
Absolutely.
I didn't want that. I said, let me try it. And here we are.
And I'm so glad that you did. I am glad that I have this signed copy from the author herself, Greedy Petey, The Bounce That Broke It All. Let's support our very own. And having said that, don't go away. We'll be right back after the break. If you're looking for a YouTube channel that serves as a vibrant source of encouragement, inspiration, and empowerment for viewers from all walks of life, subscribe to The Art of Conversation with Latosha Esaw, where we strive to paint positive conversational art with you. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. Thank you for staying tuned as we come to the final discussion about the wonderful world of paralegalism and what it takes to become a published author. So let's pick up from where we left off about your amazing children's book. Once again, it's called Greedy Petey, The Bounce That Broke It All. What message or lesson do you hope parents and children take away from your book?
I would like for children to learn, especially with Petey. He's a little greedy in the sense that he's a little overzealous. He wants to win everything. Sometimes he doesn't want to share, things of that nature. And in those moments, he learns just how truly important friendship is and how important family and connection is. And that's what I would like children and parents alike to take from the series. Yes, ma'am.
That is awesome. Those are some great takeaways and lessons that parents and children should take heed to. Now, in addition to this, you also are the proprietor of your very own virtual advertising agency,
Yes.
Unseen AI Studios.
Yes.
Can you share the journey of what led to your first steps to become the founder of your very own virtual advertising agency?
I am the owner, as you say, operator, along with my husband, who is the managing supervisor. And as the world changes, as AI becomes even more prevalent,
Yes.
and small businesses seem to diminish even further in the wake of advertising because it's so outrageously expensive.
Yes.
We said, hey, let's think about being able to bring some advertising to the small and local businesses that need it, but necessarily may not be able to afford those, expensive packages. So along with AI and the use of AI tools, rather, if you have brands that you'd like to promote or merchandise or just information about your own business, we draft it. We bring your vision to life. Whatever it is that you'd like, whether you just want photographs of yourself or your merch, or you want to say, hey, this is what we do. If you're a restaurant, you want to showcase your food, we bring it to life. We'll come in, we'll take photographs if need be, or if you give it to us, we'll do that. We put a video together for you to post on all of your social media platforms.
And I witnessed and I viewed some of your amazing work, and it's absolutely wonderful. Like I said, we need to support our very own. And she's local. She can assist you with drafting those legal documents.
Oh, yeah.
Pick up her wonderful book. Order it. It's a wonderful read, and also reach out to her in terms of like her advertising agency.
Yeah.
So that leads to my next question. What inspired you to start a virtual advertising agency rather than a traditional one, and how do you differentiate your services from other digital or virtual advertising agencies? Lastly, what industries or types of clients do you primarily work with, or who you would like to work with?
Okay. What got us motivated, honestly, is thinking about the little man.
Yes.
You know, we definitely are a company that we know that anybody can create a video.
Yes.
You know, we honestly, it's not the most difficult thing to do. But the integrity behind it is, you know, the creativity behind it, the imagination behind it is what makes Unseen AI Studios just a little bit different.
Mm-hmm.
I've lived in Orangeburg since I was 17 years old. You know, I went to Orangeburg Wilkinson High School. You know,
Yes.
I've met family and cousins I didn't know existed. I've made friends, you know, and things of that nature. And I think that when you're a local,
Yes.
you know the town just a little bit better. You know, you kind of know what the town needs. And we want to cater to the barbers, to the
Yes.
hair salons, to the restaurateurs. You know, we
Yes.
want to cater to the law firms. Not everybody has a billboard, you know, to the
Absolutely.
realtors, to everybody.
Yes.
Because we're a small town, but we're thriving, and Orangeburg wants to grow. And what better way? You know, you got to get the word out there, though.
Absolutely.
Got to get the word out.
Yes. Like I said, I viewed the video of your amazing work. I'm really impressed.
Thank
It's
you.
really awesome.
Thank you.
And lastly, how can someone reach out to you to purchase your book, Greedy Petey? Yes, The Bounce That Broke It All, or learn more about your virtual advertising agency, Unseen AI Studios?
To purchase Greedy Petey, it is for sale right now on Amazon. You can go on and just search Greedy Petey book, or Greedy Petey The Bounce That, you know, broke it all. With regard to AI, or Unseen AI, we have Facebook. We have Unseen AI Studios at gmail.com. You can also reach out on the website, which is www.unseenaistudios.org. We're on TikTok. Everything is basically Unseen AI Studios. Going back to Greedy Petey, if you're unable to get the book, he also has a live YouTube page. It is called Greedy Petey Kangaroo, and you can go on and watch him. You can watch the show.
And I was watching. I'm a kid at heart. I was thoroughly enjoying his adventures. Yes.
Thank you.
Okay. Well, that's all for today. And what an inspiring journey I've had the chance to explore, as my guest has shown us how determination and vision can open doors across very different fields or spectrums, such as thriving as a published author, excelling as a skilled paralegal, and breaking new ground as the owner of a virtual advertising agency. Each role on its own takes dedication and talent, but combining them into one career speaks to her resilience, creativity, and true entrepreneurial spirit.
Thank you so much for having me. This has been great.
Yes, I can chat all day, but we're on a time limit, so yes. And also, if today's conversation sparked your curiosity, I would love for you to join us on this journey of discovery. Whether you're interested in sharpening your paralegal skills, exploring the path to becoming a published author, or taking that first step towards starting your own business, there's always a place for you to learn and grow and be inspired through many different avenues and paths, such as online or in-person schools, publishing companies, and registering with the Secretary of State to get your business started. Share your story. Go to the Art of Conversation with Latosha Esaw YouTube channel and write in the comment section below about what inspired you to pursue your career, publish a book, or start and create your very own business. Don't forget to hashtag the Art of Conversation with Latosha Esaw. I would like to thank Mrs. Jasmine Williams for shedding light about her remarkable career and business ventures as she has shown us what it truly means to wear many hats with passion and purpose, serving as a dedicated paralegal who brings order and clarity to the legal world, sharing wisdom and imagination as a published author, and innovating in the business world as the owner of a virtual advertising agency. Each of these roles speaks to resilience, creativity, and an unwavering drive to make a difference in people's lives. It's not often that we meet someone who blends professionalism with artistry and entrepreneurship so seamlessly. But today we've seen just how powerful that balance can be, from guiding clients through legal complexities to inspiring readers with the written word to helping brands tell their story in the digital space. Mrs. Williams is proof that success doesn't have to fit in one box. As I close, let's carry this reminder with us. No matter what path that you choose, your skills and passions can intersect in ways that can create or impact beyond what you might imagine. Once again, thank you to my guest for sharing her wonderful journey, and thank you to my viewers for joining us. Until next time, stay inspired, stay curious, and keep striving to write your own unique story of success. And as always, at the Art of Conversation with Latosha Esaw, we would love to create, draw, and paint all aspects of positive conversational art with you. Our positive conversational art tools would love to see you soon.